Welcome back to Ask Allison. Here is today's question. Aside from the typical marketing strategies, are there any other tips or ways of being that I can help fill a practice? I'm doing the typical things and waiting for that effort to pay off, which I know isn't instant, just looking for other ways to get this going. Great question. Before I answer, I would love to thank Therapy Notes for sponsoring Ask Allison. I've talked about Therapy Notes for years. I know all their features by heart, but what really sets them apart is that they care about your experience. It's not just about troubleshooting. They actively implement user-suggested features like their new AI notes and automated client payments. Everyone at Therapy Notes believes in the product and they want you to love it too. Plus, they're independently owned, which means no venture capital, no pressure to prioritize investors over customers. This independence allows them to keep prices fair, focus on innovation, and prioritize customer experience. With over 100,000 therapists already on board, they've proven you don't have to compromise success for quality. If you're ready to see for yourself, try Therapy Notes free for 2 months with the code ABUNDANT at therapynotes.com. All right, so there are lots of different ways of being or things you could be doing, but I'm going to focus on one today, and it's one that might be a little unexpected, and that's generous, like be generous. What you might be thinking when I say that is maybe you picture giving away free sessions or working for hours without getting compensated for your time, but that's not what I'm talking about here. The generosity I'm referring to is about giving what you can when you can without burning yourself out or feeling like you're sacrificing your time and energy. It's about being generous in ways that serve your community, not necessarily individual clients. Being generous in ways that foster connections and ultimately help build a practice that feels really aligned with who you are. Before we dive into how generosity can help you grow your practice, I want to address something that's on the minds of many private practice owners, which is the fear of competition. If you've ever thought to yourself, there are only so many clients out there, or what if I'm not the therapist they choose? I really want you to take a deep breath and let that go. There are plenty of clients to go around, I promise. When you fully buy into this idea that there's room for everyone, it completely shifts how you approach your work. Instead of worrying about your competition and stressing about who's getting the next client, you begin to feel a lot more space to be generous. You stop wasting time and energy worrying about other people's success. You free yourself up to think about how you can serve others and contribute in ways that are meaningful, even if it's not immediately rewarding in the ways you expect. Let me share some ways generosity can actually help build your practice. And I want to emphasize this isn't about giving away your time and resources to the point of exhaustion. Generosity does not mean giving away more than you have to give. It means offering what you can when you're able and creating an environment where both you and those around you can thrive. One of the most powerful ways to be generous in your practice is by sharing your experience with others. So I'll give you an example from my own experience. If another therapist calls me because they're working with a client who's presenting with like a new eating disorder symptom and they want advice on best practices, I really don't hesitate to offer my insights. I do not see this as competition. I see it as a chance to help a fellow clinician. If I have the time and the expertise, I'll chat with them about what's working for me in those situations. I'll offer them new tools or I'll point to resources that could be helpful. This kind of generosity doesn't cost me anything at all other than just a few minutes of my time. But it can make the world of difference for the therapist on the other end. It's great for their clients. It also is a great way to build your professional relationships and show that you're invested in the success of your colleagues, not just your own. Now let's talk about networking. This is often erroneously seen as a transactional thing. What if we flip the script on that? What if we're thinking, rather than thinking of networking as like, how can I benefit from this person? You think in terms of how can I connect people in a way that helps them both? This is a practice of generosity that can have long-lasting positive effects. So, for example, if I meet a therapist who specializes in the same area as a good friend of mine, I don't just say, hey, you should meet this person. It's a very surface level introduction. Instead, I take time to craft a thoughtful email introduction where I explain who each person is, what they do, why I think they'd make a great team, how they can benefit from getting to know one another. This kind of really in-depth, meaningful introduction helps build genuine connections between the two of them and between me and each of them. It's a really small effort on my part, but it can have a huge value for everyone involved. Another way I practice generosity is helping people connect when they're relocating or transitioning to a new place. If someone reaches out to me because they're moving to a new city and they're looking for recommendations, whether it's for therapy or networking or whatever, I'll make a point to introduce them to people I know in the city. I don't just give them a list of names. I try to provide a personalized introduction with context when I can so that that connection is more meaningful. This is not an introduction for all or an ask for you guys to all email me right now about this because then I won't be able to do all of it because I won't have it to give, right? All right, let's talk about what happens when your practice is full and a potential client reaches out. I used to feel this pressure to always be available, to always be taking on new clients, even when my schedule was full. But over time, I realized something really important. Just because I can take on a new client or can't take on a new client doesn't mean I can't help them. So if someone calls, my schedule's full, I don't just say like, I'm really sorry, I'm unavailable. I talk to them about what they're going through, what they're hoping to work on in therapy. And then I provide them with a hand-picked list of therapists that I think would be a great fit for their needs. I don't refer them to just anyone. I really take the time to hear about their specific concerns, what they're looking for, and I match them with someone I trust. By doing this, I'm giving them something that could truly make a difference in their journey with therapy. I'm showing them that I care about their well being, even if I'm not able to see them myself. And in doing so, I'm building a network of professionals who appreciate thoughtful, generous approaches to referrals. So it's a win win. Now, let's talk about how generosity plays out in a broader sense, too. If you're asked to share an event or a networking opportunity like a dinner or a community gathering, don't hesitate to spread the word. Even if you're not able to attend, let your network know about the opportunity. And this helps bring people together, foster that sense of community. I don't know how many times I'm saying the word community, a lot. It might lead to new connections, collaborations, referrals down the road for everyone. And it feels good that you helped connect them. And let's consider referrals within your own client base. If a client comes to you with a request for a referral for a friend or a family member, don't just send them to anyone you're familiar with. Think about who truly fits the need, someone you would trust to provide high quality care. This type of generosity shows that you're not just thinking about your own business, but the well being of others too. And here's the thing, you can't give everything you have all the time. I've learned this the hard way, and there are days that I just don't have anything extra to give. That's okay. Generosity doesn't mean overextending yourself. It means being thoughtful about when and how you give. And sometimes you'll have more to offer, sometimes you won't. The key is to really honor your limits, give in ways that feel good for you rather than feeling like you're giving out of obligation or guilt. A well placed, I wish I could respond to this right now, but I'm just not going to be able to, is totally fine. Generosity is about balance. It's about recognizing that while it's really important to give to others, it's also essential to take care of yourself. If you're burned out or overwhelmed, you won't have anything left to give. And when you're able to show up for others with genuine care and thoughtfulness, it creates this ripple effect that benefits everybody involved. I can tell you that the more I've embraced generosity in my practice, the more it's come back to me in unexpected ways. It's built my network, created opportunities, helped me develop strong relationships with clients and colleagues and community members. But more importantly, it's allowed me to build a practice that feels really fulfilling and authentic and connected to the people I serve. If you're ready to embrace generosity in your own practice, and you want a tool to guide you, I've got something for you. You can DM me the word sheets, and I'll send you this week's worksheet, which is who to network with, since that's an important part of being generous. You'll also get access to the worksheets in the whole series. So those are all designed to help you implement the ideas I talk about and bring more generosity in your practice in this circumstance. Thanks for tuning in today, and trust that there are plenty of clients out there. And when you have the time and energy to be generous, it's a great option.